Welcome to the Princeton Podcast, your go-to source for everything happening in and around Princeton. Join your hosts, Zach, Mary, and Kim, three locals who live and work right here in Princeton, as we bring you the latest events, exclusive interviews with local businesses, and stories that make our town special. Your community, your stories, your podcast.
Hey everybody, if you're a snowmobile enthusiast, you will want to tune in to today's podcast. Today we have Heather Horzuk from the Mystic Riders Snowmobile Club, who is going to tell us all things about the Mystic Riders, what they do, how they're involved in our community, and how you can get on the trails and ride safely. Welcome, Heather.
Well, hello.
Welcome to the podcast, Heather.
Hello.
I'm
Good to
glad
be
that
here.
I'm glad that you were able to make it in today, and it's a little warmer today. Thank
Little bit.
goodness. Yeah, a little bit.
It's still below zero, I think.
Yeah, it's but it's going to warm up, so that's good.
And still no snow.
And still no snow. Yeah. So, well, let's just get right into it. So I have lots of questions about the Mystic Riders and snowmobiling, and I don't know very much about it, so I'm excited to hear. So tell us about Mystic Riders. What is it? How did you get started? Kind of some general information.
The Mystic Riders are a group of snowmobile enthusiasts who maintain about 150 miles worth of trails in the Princeton area. We're in Isanti County, Sherburne County, and Mille Lacs County. It started in 1968 with a group of friends who used to meet at the Mystic Inn, and they wanted a nice place to ride. Mm-hmm. And so they built up our network of trails through private land, which we're very, very thankful to our landowners.
Right.
And it's gone from there.
So basically how that works is you're in contact with private landowners. So it was decided, here's where we'd like to ride. Mm-hmm. And then it was a matter of contacting landowners and then saying we will preserve these trails and maintain them.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot of work to build the trails, but it's also maintaining. This last summer when we had the big snow or rainstorms and windstorms.
Lots of rain. Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of trees down, so we go through in the fall and clean up the trees and make sure the trails are wide enough for the groomers to pass.
Right. I guess that just, obviously. But that never really dawned on me that in the fall you're working to make sure you don't have any obstacles in your way.
Yep.
To make it safe.
Yep. We start with trail fall work kickoff right around the first week in October. And we have a break for youth hunting season, which is about MEA.
Yep.
And then the first 2 weekends in November, we also take a break for open rifle season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, we're out in the woods and mowing and trimming trees, moving branches.
I was thinking, okay, so where I live, there's not a groom trail, but snowmobilers ride through our ditch. Mm-hmm. So often I think about hazards, that they might not be able to see, so what does that mean so these are specific trails that people know they can ride on.
Yep.
They're maintained, they're
marked.
They're marked, and so that's where you see the little signs, and things like that. Okay. So do you start by doing mowing when you first begin or in the fall?
Yes, the mowers will go out and they mow the ditches mostly first, and then when they can get into the forest, depending on if there's a bog or a swamp, they'll go around those. But mowing brings the grass level down, so it's an easier place for snow to settle and get that nice base for a snowmobile trail.
Okay, wow, that's a lot. And so how did you begin to? I mean, the equipment that you must own must not be cheap.
No.
So how did that all begin? Where you could, how do you maintain that? Where equipment needs to be maintained and purchased and replaced, and how do you guys do that?
Our first trail groomer was a 1971 Polaris Voyager, and it pulled an old bed spring, and that was the first groomer. We currently run 2 Tucker Snowcats, and they are the big orange machines you see out there.
Yep.
Ours are 2014 models. So we go through there's a dealership in Wisconsin where we get a lot of our maintenance done, and they do oil changes and stuff.
Okay.
But we have one that we house down down here at our local clubhouse, and then we also have a bay up in Bach where we house our other groomer, and they groom our north trails.
Okay.
And then we switch them.
Yeah. Okay.
And what a bummer that you probably haven't been able to use them yet.
No, we didn't use them last year
No,
either.
not
so-
for sure, not last
2
year.
years in a row. So I used to be part of this club way back when. Jake was like 2, I think. And so we've helped on the trails and the cleanups, and we've gone on the big trips and stuff. So it's super fun. But how many? Because we're talking about all this work that it takes to
Yeah.
groom a trail and get them ready in the fall. And when I was part of it, everybody had to do a certain amount of hours. And then, you guys make it fun. I mean, it is a lot of work, but it's also really fun to get together with the whole group and do that together. So how many members are in Mystic Riders right now?
I believe we have about 80 memberships.
Okay.
And that includes families and individuals. Some people have memberships in multiple clubs because they live in between, or they have family or friends in both clubs, and so they just have multiple memberships. But we have about. That's my phone.
Oh, I was like,
I was too. I can hear this little ding ding. Been in a car accident and don't know where to turn? Your car is more than just a vehicle. It's your way to work, to your family, to your life. And when it's damaged, you need a repair shop you can count on. That's where Abra Auto Body and Glass comes in. They fix everything from fender benders to the kind of oops that make you say, I hope my insurance covers this. They don't just slap a Band-Aid on your car. They use high-quality materials and the latest tech to make your vehicle look like it just rolled off the showroom floor. Your car will be so shiny, you might start to think it's trying to show off. Plus, with their fast, reliable service, you'll be back on the road so fast, you won't even have time to question your life choices. Abra Auto Body and Glass, where they fix it right the first time, on time. So, as far as membership, you have about 80 members.
Yep.
And so, what is a membership? What do you get from a membership?
Our membership, $30 of it goes to MNUSA for their yearly membership. That gets you their monthly magazine about snowmobile happenings in the state of Minnesota, as well as the region. MNUSA membership includes a $5,000 insurance policy if you're injured on the trails. And then $10 goes to the Mystic Riders as kind of a fundraising thing to help us buy and maintain. And
So it's quite reasonable then to be a member. And is the idea that the Mystic Riders trails that you maintain are for Mystic Riders members?
absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Our trails are open to everybody, and we encourage everybody to jump on our trails that connect to other local clubs and explore the area.
Yeah.
and they are so nice. I mean, they're just smooth and like we talked about.
Yeah.
There's going to be no hazards and.
Right. I mean, that's the thing I would think, especially as a maybe you're new to the sport, that you wouldn't know really what to do or where to go or what's safe or what's allowed. What is allowed as far as when you're out snowmobiling? Going through, like I said, people go through our ditch in our development. How does that work?
The road ditch is part of the 33 feet from the center of a road.
Yep.
And so that's road right away, so people can ride there. As for the trail system, stay under the speed limit of 50 on wide open areas, ride responsibly and kindly, and do not ride off trail. We have lost trail because people go bombing across a field or...
Oh, so then that homeowner will say no more.
Yep, and then we end up riding more in road ditch, which is fine. But when you ride through private property and you're going through the woods and by lakes, and it's a different experience.
For sure.
Stay on the trail.
Absolutely.
And so do you do any kind of safety classes, or do you have any, what is kind of snowmobile etiquette?
Don't blow around corners is one thing that I see a lot of. Stay on your side of the trail. When you're passing somebody, it's very common to let the oncoming group know how many people are behind you.
Okay.
So you hold up a number of fingers or whatnot to let them know. Full stops, make sure you look both ways when you're crossing roads or trails. And just be nice.
Yeah.
Don't litter.
Yeah, right.
Don't litter. Yes.
Yeah. You know, as a newbie, I'm wondering so when you talked about being part of other clubs, that maybe you're in between two different communities or whatever. So do they connect usually?
Yeah. Locally, we are part of a trail association. It's called the Ram River Trail Association. And it is the club out of Malacca, the club out of Grandy, the club out of St. Francis, and out of Cambridge.
Okay. And then Princeton.
Mm-hmm. And all of our trails connect to each other.
Wow. So you have just miles and miles of trails that you can go on.
Yeah, you can go anywhere in the state. I know for our club trips, we've had club members ride from Princeton to Orr.
That's the trip I remember.
Okay, so
Or-
talk about the trips.
So
Is
fun.
that like an organized type of situation that you do with your club, or the trips?
Well, I'll let Heather talk about it because it was a long time ago
Okay.
for me. But I remember it being really fun.
Yeah.
It is. We have an annual club trip where if you get 40 hours of volunteer time for the club, then the club will pay for a room on a club trip at a hotel. This year we're going back to Orr, and since last year there wasn't a whole lot of snow, we're extending the trip a little bit, and Orr's a little bit longer to drive, but we go up there, and a lot of groups go out together and meet up at certain places, and
Cool.
it is. It's a lot of fun.
That's
It's a lot of
really
fun.
neat.
I think we have 25 rooms on the club trip this year.
Okay. And so you, how long does that take you? What time do you start? What time do you get there typically?
Well, I drive.
Yeah.
We drove too as well.
It's about a 4.5 hour drive from here.
Okay.
And then some people are gone all day. They leave at 8 in the morning. They come back at 8 at night. It just depends on how long you want to drive or how long you want to ride, where you want to ride to.
But some people do the trip on snowmobile
Yep.
from Princeton?
Yep.
Wow.
They did it in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy people.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Or is it still the American where you guys stay, or is there a different hotel?
It's there, but it's now called Oveson's.
Okay. Same. Yep. And then there was a DJ at night, or I can't remember.
Yeah.
When we were there, it was really fun gathering at night.
Yeah.
At that time, we had enough active members, and we took the entire hotel.
Oh, wow.
So this year we've got about half the
Yeah.
hotel, and no more DJ. But we are doing a catered dinner on Saturday night for everybody.
Fun.
Has the lack of snow hurt your membership?
The lack of snow and just the sheer amount of activities that families are
Yeah.
in.
It's just busy.
Yeah, it is just really, and then it's easy when there's no snow, that's kind of goes out the window then.
Yep.
And so then the next year comes around, you haven't been doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you also have other outdoor activities, like people ride side-by-sides. A lot of people with snowmobiles also have side-by-sides, and you can ride those longer.
Right.
And just like everything else, the cost of new snowmobiles is expensive. So
And to maintain them, is it quite expensive too?
it depends on what you're maintaining.
Yeah, I suppose if you're got
Just
a
like
brand
everything
new,
else.
Yeah, that's true. So do you guys offer any kind of educational training or, for new riders or maybe youth?
We do. We have 2 youth snowmobile training sessions. We partner with Thomas Snow Sports up in Ogilvie for the training session on the first Saturday of December every year. And then we have a second training session at our clubhouse out by east of town here by the Mystic Inn. We have, we had about 60 students this year.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
It's good to know that kids are going through the training.
And they do a online training session before that they have to have completed, and then they do a review during a class time, and then there is a course that they have to go through and pass.
Oh, really? So you guys have a course that you...
Yep, we have volunteers that put together the course, and one volunteer will ride through the course while the students watch, so they know what to do, and then they have to follow what the instructor did and get marked off, and we allow them to repeat it until they
understand how to do it. Yeah.
Or make sure they're comfortable riding.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not like your driver's test where now you got to reschedule, a year later. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's a lot of fun, and to see the next generation of snowmobilers getting excited for the opportunity to ride and just learning. And
that's what you got to do, is get those young ones and hook them.
And considering the number of members that you have, that's a lot of, oh, sorry, now my phone's ringing. That is a lot of work. You know what I mean? I mean, your group is doing a lot. I guess is what I'm trying to say, is that that's a lot of members, but it's still a lot of work to do a whole training course. And how many miles did you say of trail?
Just a little over 150 miles worth of trail that we go through every fall.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. And then what kind of things do you have to do during the season when there is a lot of snow?
We groom.
So you're constant, like how often? Every so many inches of snow, or?
The trails are legally open. It has to be after December 1st, and there has to be 6 inches of snow for the trails to be legally open.
Oh, really?
So even with the snow we have right now, the trails aren't open.
Nope. You're right.
Have they been open yet this winter?
We haven't had enough snow.
Oh, my gosh.
And were they open at all last year?
Not at all.
Not at all,
Nope.
yeah.
So Orr must have snow then.
Or does have snow.
How much snow do you think they have?
Rideable snow.
Okay.
There's been years up there where we've gotten stuck on the river up there in armpit deep snow.
Oh, really?
Oh, my gosh. I feel like that hasn't happened forever.
Oh, my gosh. It seemed like, and really it was a few years ago, because before we had the big drought of snow, we had so much snow that winter. And so we had it just snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed
And then-
constantly.
Yep. Now we don't get any.
Right.
No, we don't. or it's too early, because it has to be December 1st before the trails are open.
Right.
Okay.
So I know that you guys have always been very involved in our community. So can you kind of talk about that and how that came about and what kind of things you do?
The Mystics Riders is a volunteer organization, and we are also a nonprofit for 501c3. We have a gambling license, and so the way we give back to our community is by donating to community programs. We give a lot to sports activities and benefits, and so that's a lot of what we do for the community right now.
Yeah.
Last year we gave over $55,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back to the community.
I am a coach for Princeton, and we've got money from Mystic Riders. And I mean, you guys are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you hardly ever turn anybody down. It's just you give.
I don't recall ever turning anybody
Probably
down.
not. Probably not. Yeah. You guys are you're great.
Yeah.
And the community knows it.
Yes, and the fact that you haven't been able to actually, be out and ride and, have a reason to get a whole bunch of new members because of the lack of snow is really, it's incredible that you're giving away that amount of money.
Yeah, and that's all from our charitable gambling that we have at Long Siding, Highway Inn, Moonshine, and Pizza Pub.
Oh, you're at all of those locations. Okay.
And you've partnered with Pizza Pub in a little bit of a different way, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, so on, I believe it's Monday nights there, they have different youth organizations come in and bus tables and seat patrons and earn money. They get 20% of proceeds from that night's business. The Mystic Riders have partnered, and we try to write a check that will get them to about $1,000.
Wow.
If they don't hit that.
Oh, that's how it
Okay.
works. Okay, that's really cool.
I was
Yeah.
wondering how that worked too, because I always see it on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's our way to just easily give back to the community.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
So, how do you stay connected with other clubs in the region? And do you guys do? I know you said you're a part of the Rum River.
Trail
Yep.
Association.
And so, are you beyond that at all, or how does everybody stay connected with one another? Do you have meetings and?
Every spring, the DNR puts on district meetings. The state of Minnesota
Okay.
is broken down into, I believe it's 8 different districts by MNUSA and by the DNR. And those districts meet once a year in the spring to learn about that year's grant and aid program and different rules and whatever's coming up in legislature, just to
Right.
keep everybody up to date. Because the state of Minnesota has a grant and aid program that we apply for every May, where the state pays snowmobile clubs to maintain their trails.
Oh, okay.
Because it's having a trail system is a revenue boost for communities and the state.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, that's a huge way to bring people into a community when there's snow.
Yep, and when you put on events like the Rum River Trail Association, the weekend before Labor Day every year puts on the Outlaw Grass Drags, which is a grass drag race north of town,
Yes.
where you got 4 snowmobiles lined up and they go as fast as they can, 500 feet.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So Mystic Riders is a part of the Outlaw?
Yep,
Good.
yep.
Okay, so that is the Mystic Riders?
You run that, right?
Or how does that-
club?
The whole trail association works together to put it on. Each club has specific items that they take care of. St. Francis does the swap area. Cambridge takes care of the vendors, and Mystic Riders does the race part.
Okay.
As well as a couple other things like the information booth.
Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. It's so fun.
And you're saying they're racing how far?
500 feet.
Okay.
And I think track record is 158, or they hit 158 miles an hour in 500 feet this year.
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
so
Well,
snowmobiles
and I know it's
racing on grass.
huge.
Yep.
You guys bring in a lot of people for that.
Yep.
That is a lot. So that's another way that you can then build some revenue is through that, or through that event too.
Absolutely. There's clubs in the Trail Association that don't have charitable gambling. There's a couple of us that do, but those clubs, that's their main fundraiser for the year, aside from their grant.
Right. I mean, it's kind of nice to be able to do that. And also, so you do one in the summer, end of the summer, then you do one in the fall.
No, that's the past 2 years we've worked with Velocity Race Management, which does the mechanical light type stuff for the races.
Okay.
We've partnered with them to try to put on a second race. It's not going to continue just because it's hard to do in September.
Yeah.
So much.
When you have school started and people are not in that frame of mind.
You're so right. We've had the same situation at the chamber where we've kind of stopped doing those events in that time of year, because it's just people are switching over to their regular schedules, and plus, isn't the grass drags in August?
Yep.
So it's practically back to back for you guys.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work to put it on.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, September is just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's heydays, and I know Wissota racing is pretty big in
Yep.
September as well. They end with their big races, and yeah, that would be hard.
Yep. Just didn't get the people coming in trying to do a Friday event, Saturday event, a two-day
Right.
event, and
Yeah.
it just didn't work out. But
Yep.
you live and you learn.
That's
and
right. I mean, you gotta try.
Yeah, if you don't try, you don't know if
No.
it'll go.
That's right. And it's really, and your August event is so huge. So
It
that's
is.
really nice too.
It is, and by September, a lot of people are burnt out and
Yeah,
ready to.
for sure.
Because the entire month of August, we work on prepping the site and mowing and driving stake posts and lining and all sorts of stuff.
Do people still bring their campers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
a lot of club members camp there on site, so they're working nonstop
Yeah.
from dawn to dusk.
Right.
Yep.
They wake up and then they go head back in their camper at night. Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun and well worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Food trucks and beverages.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
And the overnight part is fun too, I think. Yeah.
And it's a lot of locals that,
Yep.
might live in Princeton and it's 5 miles up the road and they still camp there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just to be
fun.
part of the environment.
Yep.
And, yeah. So what if somebody wants to get involved in Mystic Riders? What would they do? What steps would they take?
I would suggest coming to one of our meetings.
Okay.
Get a feel for it and see what it's all about, and go from there. If it's something you're interested in, you can sign up right there, pay your dues, and you'll get put on email lists and added to Facebook groups and get all of the information you need.
And how often do you meet?
We meet the even-numbered Tuesdays of every month.
Okay.
May, June, and July, we only meet the last even-numbered Tuesday. Otherwise, it's every even-numbered Tuesday.
That's a good way to remember it.
Yep.
And you guys meet at the clubhouse.
Yep.
Which is right by the Mystic.
Yep, it's just down the road from the Mystic.
Okay. Which is on 47? No. 40? What road is that on?
7.
The Mystic's on just south of 7. No, it is on 7. I don't
Sandy
know.
County 7, I think.
It's tricky to get to
Mm-hmm.
for people that
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know
little-
that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you put in the physical address, it brings you to a different place.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so there it's go to the Mystic and then go west.
There you go.
I think that's
Yeah.
how, yes, that's
Go
how
to
it
the
was.
Mystic and go west. And do you, I just lost my train of thought.
Do you have Facebook, website?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
I figured.
We do have a Facebook business page that we put updates on, and any events that are pertinent, we post out there. Warnings, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good.
Let
We're
it
on there.
snow. Get on your knees and pray for snow.
Yeah, right? Yes,
Yeah.
let it snow.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that really want snow.
Yes. So follow on Facebook. Did you say you have a website?
Nope, we don't right now.
Okay, so Facebook is the main
Yep.
the main go-to.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So people get out there, follow them, check them out.
Come
Yeah,
and
they do a
see
lot of
us.
work for all the trails and for the community. So thank you for all that you do. And I know that you volunteer a lot, not just with Mystic Riders, but other places as well. I see your
Absolutely.
name in other places. So I know you're a big volunteer. So thank you for all that you do as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks
Yeah.
for being on the
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you.
Thanks for letting me talk
Yeah.
about our sport and our group, our
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
We would love to help you grow it.
Yeah.
We would love to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. we would
Join the
love
Mystic Riders, people.
it. We have a lot of fun.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
can attest to that.
All right. Well, thanks, Heather. We appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Have a great day.
Yeah. So until next time, this is just
Well, Kim and Mary.
Kim and Mary signing off. This is Princeton. Stay here.
Play
Play
here.
here.